Stop dreaming. Start selling on Amazon. The time is now. Alright, listen up because what I'm about to drop is straight fire for anyone even about making real moves in e-commerce. We're talking Amazon, people. The Goliath, the undisputed champion, the platform where fortunes are literally being built every single day. If you're not seeing the sheer, unadulterated potential of selling on Amazon in this day and age, you're asleep at the wheel, period. This isn't some fleeting trend. It's a fundamental shift in how commerce is done, and you have a front row seat to get in on the action. But let me be crystal clear. Thinking it's a get-rich-quick scheme is where you lose before you even start. This is about building a real business, a real brand, a real income stream. The opportunity on Amazon is massive, almost incomprehensibly vast. Think about it, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of customers with their credit cards saved, ready to buy, actively searching for products. It's a global marketplace right at your fingertips. But with great opportunity comes the need for great execution. You can't just throw spaghetti at the wall and hope it sticks. That's lazy, and lazy doesn't win in this game. You need a plan, you need strategy, and you need to understand the nuts and bolts of how this whole ecosystem works, from finding a product to getting it into your customers' hands. That's why Quais asked me to lay this out for you. It's not about magic formulas, it's about understanding each step, from A to Z, from Alibaba to FBA, and executing on that knowledge with relentless passion and attention to detail. So many people get caught up in the hype, the Lambo dreams, but they miss the foundational work. Today we're diving deep into the practical, actionable steps you need to take. No fluff, no BS. Just the raw, unfiltered truth about what it takes to crush it on Amazon. Pay attention, take notes, and more importantly, get ready to execute. Step 1. Planting your flag. Setting up your Amazon seller account. Alright, first things first. You can't sell a damn thing on Amazon if you don't have an account, right? Obvious, I know, but you'd be surprised how many people stumble at this first hurdle, overthinking it or getting bogged down in the details. Let me tell you, setting up your Amazon seller account is foundational. It's like laying the concrete for the skyscraper you're about to build. You mess this up, and the whole thing can come crumbling down later. So, listen closely. This isn't just paperwork, it's your entry ticket to the biggest marketplace on earth. Amazon gives you a couple of options here, an individual plan or a professional plan. Now, if you're just dipping your toes, testing the waters, maybe selling a few old books from your garage, the individual plan might seem tempting. You pay per item sold, no monthly fee. Sounds good for a beginner, right? Wrong in most cases if you're serious. If you're here listening to Quais, listening to me, you're not looking to sell a trinket or two. You're looking to build something. You're looking to scale. The professional plan, that's where the serious players operate. Yeah, there's a monthly subscription fee, big deal. Think of it as your rent for a store on the busiest street in the world. This plan unlocks a ton of features you absolutely need if you're going to make a real go of this. We're talking access to advertising tools, advanced selling reports, the ability to sell in restricted categories, and crucially, eligibility for programs like Fulfillment by Amazon, which we'll get into later. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish here. Invest in the professional plan. So you've picked your plan, professional, because you're serious. Now comes the registration. Amazon is going to ask you for a bunch of information and you need to have it ready. This isn't the time to be sloppy. They'll need your business name and address, your phone number, a chargeable credit card, your bank account information so they can pay you. That's the good part. And your tax information like your EIN if you're a business or your social security number if you're starting as a sole proprietor. Get all this documentation in order, you start the process. Scan it. Have digital copies, make sure everything is accurate and matches. Amazon's verification process can be rigorous, and any inconsistencies can lead to delays, or even account suspension before you've even made your first sale. You don't want that headache. Trust me on this. I've seen too many people get tripped up by simple mistakes here. Double check, triple check, everything. Your name, your address, your bank details, precision matters. Once you start the online registration, follow the prompts carefully. Amazon will guide you through it, but it's on you to provide accurate information. They'll verify your identity, your bank account, and other details. This process can take a few days, sometimes a bit longer, so be patient. Don't keep poking the bear by contacting support every 5 minutes if it's within their stated time frame. Use that waiting time productively. Start researching products, learning about listing optimization, something. Think of this setup phase as your first test. Can you follow instructions? Can you be meticulous? Can you be patient? These are all qualities you'll need as an Amazon seller. It's not just about clicking buttons, it's about building a legitimate business presence on their platform. They need to trust you, and you need to give them every reason to. This is your digital handshake, your first official interaction with the ecosystem you're about to become a part of. And one more thing on this, choose your business name and your store name wisely if you're at that stage. Think about branding from day one, even if it's just a small thought. What do you want to represent? What kind of vibe are you going for? It might seem small now, but these little things add up over time. Your Amazon store name is part of your brand identity on the platform. Make it professional, make it memorable, make it relevant if possible. Don't let this step intimidate you. Thousands of people do this every single day. The key is to be prepared, be accurate, and be patient. It's a straightforward process if you treat it with the seriousness it deserves. This is your gateway, your official entry into the Amazon universe. Get it done right, and you're one step closer to actually selling and making money, which is why you're here, right? The platform itself is designed to onboard sellers, but it's also designed to protect its customers and its own integrity. So, they're going to vet you. Embrace it. It means they're also vetting your competition, which is a good thing. It raises the bar for everyone, so take a deep breath, gather your documents, and go get that Seller Central account set up. This is where the journey truly begins. Once you're through verification, you'll get access to Seller Central. This is your command center, your cockpit, your mission control. Familiarize yourself with it. Click around, explore the menus, see where everything is. Don't be afraid to get lost in there for a bit. The more comfortable you are with Seller Central, the more efficient you'll be when it's time to list products, manage inventory, and run your business. This isn't a one and done, it's your new digital office. The Gold Rush Sourcing Killer products from Alibaba. Okay, you've got your Amazon account, you're officially in the game. But an empty store doesn't make sales, does it? Now comes the real hunt, the part that separates the wannabes from the actual entrepreneurs sourcing your products. And for a massive number of Amazon sellers, especially those starting out or looking for private label opportunities, Alibaba is the undisputed king of sourcing. It's a treasure trove, but like any treasure hunt, you need a map and you need to know how to spot the real gold from the fool's gold. Alibaba, for those who don't know, is a gigantic B2B marketplace connecting manufacturers and suppliers, mostly from China and other parts of Asia, with buyers all over the world. The sheer volume of products available is mind-boggling. You can find anything and everything. But that's also the challenge. How do you navigate this ocean of options and find reliable suppliers who won't screw you over, and products that will actually sell and make you a profit? This is where your hustle and your due diligence come in. First, you need to have an idea of you want to sell. Don't just go on Alibaba browsing randomly. That's a recipe for overwhelm and wasted time. Do your product research on Amazon first. See what's selling, see what niches have demand but maybe not killer competition, look for gaps in the market, or ways to improve existing products. Once you have a product or a niche in mind, you go to Alibaba with a specific search. Use keywords, be precise. When you find potential products and suppliers, don't just look at the price. That's a rookie mistake. You need to vet these suppliers like you're hiring a key employee. Look for gold suppliers, verified suppliers, and trade assurance badges on their profiles. These offer some level of verification and protection, but they're not foolproof. Dig deeper. How long have they been on Alibaba? What are their response rates? Do they have good reviews? And I mean reviews, not just a bunch of 5 stars with generic comments. Communication is absolutely critical. Send inquiries to multiple suppliers for the same product. See how they respond. Are they professional? Do they answer your questions clearly? Is their English good enough for you to have a detailed conversation about product specifications, quality control, and shipping? If communication is a struggle from the get-go, imagine trying to resolve a problem with a bulk order later on. Red flag. And then there's negotiation. Don't be afraid to negotiate, especially when you're talking about bulk orders. But don't just try to lowball them into oblivion. Remember, these suppliers need to make a profit too, and if you squeeze them too hard, they might cut corners on quality. Instead, focus on building a relationship. Ask about MOQs, minimum order quantities. See if they're flexible. Ask about sample costs. Always order samples before you commit to a large order. I can't stress this enough. When you get those samples, inspect them meticulously. Is the quality what you expected? Does it match the description and photos? Is the packaging good? If you're planning to private label, this is your chance to see how your branding could look. This sample is your first tangible piece of your potential business. Treat it with that level of importance. If the sample is crap, walk away. There are plenty of other suppliers. Don't fall in love with your first contact. Once you're happy with a supplier and a sample, and you've negotiated terms, make sure you understand payment terms and Incoterms, shipping terms like FOB, XW, DDP. Trade assurance on Alibaba is highly recommended for your first few orders, as it provides some recourse if things go wrong, like the goods aren't as described or they don't ship on time. It's an escrow-like service. Use it. It's there to protect you. Building a relationship with your supplier is key for long-term success. Don't just treat them like a faceless factory. These are your partners. Good communication, clear expectations, and prompt payment can go a long way in ensuring you get good service, good quality, and maybe even better terms down the line. Think long-term. A reliable supplier is worth their weight in gold in this business. They can be your competitive advantage. Remember, sourcing from Alibaba is a skill. You'll get better at it with experience. You'll learn to spot red flags faster. You'll learn how to negotiate more effectively. You'll learn which questions to ask. But it all starts with being thorough, being patient, and not cutting corners on due diligence. This is where you find the raw materials for your Amazon empire. Don't screw it up by being lazy or impatient. The internet is full of horror stories about sourcing gone wrong, lost money, bad products, scam suppliers. Almost all of those could have been avoided with more care, more research, and a refusal to rush the process. So take your time. Do the work. Find those A+ suppliers and those killer products. The effort you put in here will directly impact your bottom line and the sustainability of your Amazon business. This is where the grind truly pays off. Chapter 3. The Journey Navigating Shipping Options for Your Amazon Treasures. Alright, so you've conquered Alibaba, you found your golden product, you've got a supplier you trust. High five. But now, those products are sitting in a factory, probably thousands of miles away. How do you get them from there to, eventually, your customers' hands via Amazon? This next piece of the puzzle is shipping and logistics, and trust me, it can make or break your profit margins and your sanity if you don't understand your options. This isn't just about putting boxes on a boat, it's a strategic decision. There are generally a few main paths you can take, and the right one for you depends on your volume, your budget, your risk tolerance, and how hands-on you want to be. The first, and sometimes simplest seeming for small initial orders, is direct shipping from your supplier to Amazon FBA warehouses, or even directly to you if you're doing fulfilled by merchant, which we'll touch on. Many suppliers on Alibaba can arrange this, often using couriers like DHL, FedEx, or UPS for air freight, or arranging sea freight for larger quantities. Air freight is fast, no doubt. You can get your products in a week or two, but it's expensive, like really expensive, especially for bulky or heavy items. It can eat up your profits before you even make a sale. It's great for samples or for very small high-margin items, or if you absolutely need to restock super fast and can absorb the cost. But for bulk shipments, you'll generally want to look at sea freight. It's slower, taking weeks or even a couple of months, but it's significantly cheaper per unit. Now, if your supplier is arranging shipping, especially sea freight, you need to be crystal clear on the Incoterms. Terms like FOB, free on board, mean the supplier gets it to the port in their country and you handle it from there. EXW, ex-works, means you're responsible from their factory door. DDP, delivered duty paid, means they handle everything, including customs and delivery to a specified address, like an Amazon warehouse. DDP sounds easiest, and it can be, but it's often the most expensive option as the supplier bakes in all those costs and a margin. Understand these terms. They dictate your costs and responsibilities. Another option is to use a third-party logistics provider, or a 3PL. These are companies that specialize in, well, logistics. They can handle everything from picking up goods from your supplier in China, consolidating shipments if you're buying from multiple suppliers, managing customs clearance in your country, and then forwarding your inventory to Amazon's FBA warehouses or to your own location. This can be a fantastic middle ground. A good freight forwarder or 3PL can be a lifesaver. They have expertise you probably don't. They have relationships with carriers. They understand the complexities of international shipping and customs. Yes, they charge a fee, but often they can get better shipping rates than you could on your own, and they save you a monumental amount of headache. They can also offer services like short-term warehousing if you need to store goods before sending them to Amazon, or even inspection services at the port of origin or destination. Finding a good 3PL is like finding a good supplier. It requires research and due diligence. Get quotes from several. Check reviews. Ask them about their experience shipping to Amazon FBA because FBA has very specific requirements for how goods need to be prepped and delivered. If your 3PL doesn't understand FBA prep, you're in for a world of hurt when Amazon rejects your shipment or charges you hefty fees for non-compliance. And then of course there's Amazon's own services. We're going to dive deep into fulfillment by Amazon, FBA, in the next chapter, but it's crucial to understand that FBA, a logistics solution. Once your products are sourced and manufactured, you need a plan to get them the FBA network. Amazon has partnered carrier programs that can offer discounted rates for shipping into their warehouses from within your country, but getting it your country from overseas is typically on you or your 3PL. Consider the total landed cost. That's the cost of the product, plus shipping, plus tariffs and duties, plus any 3PL fees, plus any FBA inbound shipping costs. You need to know this number accurately to price your product correctly on Amazon and ensure you're actually making a profit. Too many sellers get excited about a low product cost from Alibaba, only to be shocked by the shipping and import costs later. Don't be that person. Factor it all in from the start. Each option has its pros and cons. Direct shipping via air is fast but costly. Sea freight is cheap but slow and complex if you DIY. Using a supplier's DDP service is easy but often pricier. A 3PL adds a layer of management and cost but can provide expertise and efficiency. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. You need to weigh your options based on your specific situation, your product, your volume, and your growth strategy. My advice? For your first few shipments, especially if they are smaller, you might lean on your supplier for DDP air or sea, or find a freight forwarder who is very experienced with new Amazon sellers and can hold your hand a bit. As you scale, you'll learn more, you'll understand the nuances, and you might bring more of the logistics management in-house or develop deeper relationships with specific 3PLs. The key is to start, learn, and adapt. Shipping is a critical artery of your e-commerce business. Keep it flowing smoothly. Chapter 4, The Amazon Power-Up, Unleashing Fulfillment by Amazon, FBA. Alright, let's talk about the beast, the game changer, the system that has revolutionized e-commerce for millions of sellers, Fulfillment by Amazon, or FBA. If you're serious about scaling your Amazon business, if you want to offer prime shipping, if you want Amazon to handle the heavy lifting of storage, packing, shipping, and customer service, then FBA is something you absolutely need to understand inside and out. This isn't just a service, it's a strategic weapon. So, what exactly is FBA? In simple terms, you send your products to Amazon's massive fulfillment centers. They store your inventory. When a customer buys your product, Amazon picks it, packs it, ships it, often with that sweet Prime eligibility, and handles most of the customer service and returns related to that order. You, the seller, focus on sourcing great products, marketing them, and managing your inventory levels. It's a division of labor, and Amazon has economies of scale you simply can't replicate on your own. Getting started with FBA involves a few key steps once your products are ready to be shipped from your supplier or your 3PL. First, you need to create your product listings in Amazon Seller Central if you haven't already. These listings need to be FBA enabled. Then, you create a shipping plan within Seller Central. This is where you tell Amazon what products you're sending, how many units, and how they're packed, for example, individual units or case packed. Amazon has very specific requirements for how your products need to be prepped and labeled before they arrive at their fulfillment centers. Each individual unit typically needs an FNSKU barcode, which is Amazon's unique identifier for your product within their system. This is crucial to ensure your inventory is tracked correctly and attributed to you. If your products have a manufacturer barcode, UPCEN, you might be able to use that, but often FNSKU is preferred or required, especially for private label. You also need to make sure your products are packaged securely to withstand the rigors of warehouse handling and shipping to the customer. Amazon has guidelines for polybagging, bubble wrap, expiration dates, if applicable, and more. Failure to comply with these prep requirements can lead to Amazon rejecting your shipment, charging you unplanned prep service fees which are not cheap, or your inventory being delayed or lost. Pay meticulous attention to these details. It's non-negotiable. Once your shipping plan is created and your products are prepped and labeled correctly, Amazon will tell you which fulfillment centers to send your inventory to. They have a sophisticated system that distributes inventory across their network based on demand, so you might be sending pallets or boxes to multiple locations. You then arrange the shipping to these designated FBA warehouses either using your own carrier, a 3PL, or Amazon's partnered carrier program, which often offers discounted rates for domestic shipping within the US, for example. After your inventory arrives and is checked in by Amazon, which can take a few days to a couple of weeks, especially during peak seasons, your listings will show up as fulfilled by Amazon and will typically be eligible for Prime shipping. This is huge. Prime members are Amazon's most loyal and frequent buyers, and they actively filter for Prime-eligible products. Being Prime eligible massively increases your visibility and conversion rates. It's a trust signal and a convenience factor that customers love. Managing your FBA inventory is an ongoing task. You need to monitor your stock levels in Seller Central to avoid stockouts, which can kill your sales velocity and search ranking. You also need to be aware of FBA storage fees. Amazon charges monthly storage fees based on the volume your products occupy. And these fees can be significantly higher for long-term storage, items sitting for more than 365 days. So you need to manage your inventory efficiently. Don't overstock, but don't understock either. It's a balancing act. FBA also handles customer service for orders they fulfill. This means calls, emails about shipping, and often returns processing. This frees up an enormous amount of your time. Instead of dealing with individual customer inquiries about where their package is, you can focus on growing your business, finding new products, and optimizing your listings. This leverage is one of the most powerful aspects of FBA. There are costs associated with FBA, of course. There are fulfillment fees per order covering picking, packing, and shipping, storage fees, monthly and long-term, and potentially other fees for things like returns processing or disposal of unsellable inventory. You need to factor all these FBA fees into your pricing and profit calculations. Amazon provides calculators and reports to help you understand these costs, use them, know your numbers. FBA isn't a magic bullet. You still need a great product, great listings, and good marketing, but it provides an incredible infrastructure and operational backbone that allows even solo entrepreneurs or small teams to compete at a high level. It levels the playing field in terms of logistics. It allows you to tap into Amazon's world-class fulfillment network and offer your customers a delivery experience that's hard to beat. For most sellers looking to scale, FBA is not just an option, it's a necessity. Chapter 5, Why FBA is Your Secret Weapon, the Undeniable Benefits. So we've talked about what FBA and how to it. But let's really hammer home it's such a dominant force for so many Amazon sellers. Why do people rave about it? Why is it considered almost essential for serious growth on the platform? The benefits are multifaceted, and when you add them all up, they create a compelling case for leveraging Amazon's fulfillment prowess. It's about more than just shipping boxes. It's about unlocking serious business advantages. The most obvious and arguably most impactful benefit is Prime eligibility. I touched on this, but it deserves to be shouted from the rooftops. When your products are FBA, they typically get the Prime badge. This means free 2-day shipping, often 1 day or even same day in some areas, for millions of Prime subscribers. These are Amazon's best customers. They spend more, they shop more frequently, and many of them buy Prime-eligible items. Not being Prime is like setting up your shop on a side street with no foot traffic. FBA puts you on Main Street. This Prime eligibility directly translates to increased sales potential. Think about your own shopping habits on Amazon. If you see 2 similar products, one Prime and one not, which one are you more likely to click on and buy, especially if the price is comparable? Exactly. The Prime badge is a massive conversion driver. It builds trust, it signals fast and reliable shipping, and it's what customers have come to expect from Amazon. FBA gives you that competitive edge instantly. Then there's the customer service aspect. Amazon handles customer inquiries, returns, and refunds for your FBA orders. Imagine the time and resources this saves you. Instead of being bogged down answering emails about shipping status or processing returns, you can focus on strategic activities, product research, marketing, brand building, supplier relationships. This operational leverage is invaluable, especially for solo entrepreneurs or small teams. It allows you to punch above your weight. Scalability is another huge win with FBA. As your sales grow, fulfilling orders yourself, fulfilled by merchant or FBM, can become a logistical nightmare. You're printing labels, packing boxes, running to the post office, dealing with shipping issues. FBA takes all of that off your plate. Whether you sell 10 units a day or 1,000 units a day, Amazon's system handles it. This allows you to scale your business without having to massively scale your own operational infrastructure like hiring staff or leasing warehouse space. Think about storage too. Warehousing products yourself costs money. You need space, shelving, insurance. With FBA, Amazon stores your inventory in their state-of-the-art fulfillment centers. Yes, there are storage fees, but for many sellers, especially those without existing warehouse capacity, it's often more cost-effective and certainly more convenient than managing their own storage, particularly when you factor in the integration with their fulfillment services. FBA can also improve your chances of winning the buy box. The buy box is that coveted spot on a product listing page where customers click Add to Cart or Buy Now. Multiple sellers can offer the same product, but only one usually wins the buy box at any given time. Amazon's algorithm for awarding the buy box considers many factors including price, seller feedback, and fulfillment method. Using FBA is a significant positive factor in that algorithm. Winning the buy box means more sales, period. There's also the trust factor that comes with Amazon handling fulfillment. Customers trust Amazon. They trust the shipping, they trust the returns process. When they see fulfilled by Amazon, it lends an air of credibility and reliability to your products, even if they've never heard of your brand before. You're essentially borrowing Amazon's hard-earned reputation, which can be a huge advantage, especially for new sellers. Let's not forget multi-channel fulfillment, MCF. Even if you sell on other platforms like your own website or eBay, you can often use your FBA inventory to fulfill those orders. Amazon will pick, pack, and ship products to your customers, regardless of where the sale originated. This allows you to centralize your inventory and leverage FBA's logistics network across your entire e-commerce presence, though fees and terms for MCF differ from standard FBA. And finally, FBA can free you up geographically. Because Amazon is handling the storage and shipping, you don't need to be physically present to manage the day-to-day operations of order fulfillment. You can run your Amazon FBA business from virtually anywhere in the world with an internet connection. This offers incredible lifestyle flexibility for many sellers. It's the dream of a location-independent business, made more achievable. Of course, FBA isn't free and it's not perfect for every single product or every single business model. You need to understand the fees and make sure your margins can support them. You need to manage your inventory diligently to avoid high storage costs. But for the vast majority of sellers aiming for significant growth and reach on Amazon, the benefits of FBA Prime eligibility, customer service handling, scalability, buy box advantage, and operational freedom are simply too compelling to ignore. It's an investment in your business's efficiency and growth potential. Chapter 6. Your Amazon empire awaits, go build it. So there you have it, the roadmap, the blueprint, the straight talk from Qais and me on how to get started and crush it selling on Amazon, from sourcing on Alibaba all the way through leveraging the power of FBA. We've covered a ton of ground, from setting up your account, finding those killer products, navigating the shipping maze, and unlocking the massive advantages of Amazon's fulfillment network. The potential is undeniably there, staring you right in the face. Millions are doing it, and there's no damn reason you can't be one of them if you're willing to put in the work. But listening to this, watching this, that's the easy part. The real question is, what are you going to do with this information? Are you going to let it sit on the shelf and collect dust, or are you going to take action? Now. Not tomorrow, not next week. The opportunity cost of waiting in the e-commerce world is massive. Every day you delay is a day someone else is learning, launching, and grabbing market share. So I encourage you, to start your Amazon selling journey. Take that first step, even if it feels small. Open that seller account. Start that product research. And remember, the e-commerce landscape, especially Amazon, is always evolving. It's dynamic, it's fast-paced. What works today might need tweaking tomorrow. New tools, new policies, new competitor strategies, they're all part of the game. So the most important thing you can do beyond just starting is to commit to continuous learning and adaptation. Stay curious, stay hungry, test everything, and never get complacent. Your ability to learn, pivot, and execute faster than the next person will be your ultimate competitive advantage. Now go get it.